Yo, it's Schmicks,
Hey, speak Bigfoot, and you're watching.
the third floor.
Yeah.
Nick, how are you doing today?
Dude, I'm good. I'm really good. It's a little chilly out here. Not like Sask chilly, but like it was a good chilly day. It was sunny. So like literally I'm in a good mood. Just had my dinner. I'm happy. I'm ready to roll. How are you doing?
Doing good. I'm just going to move my mic real quick. I forgot to. I did put my phone on silent, though. So that's a
Overcall.
start. I won't have Skip the Dishes letting me know I have to go deliver some food right now. So that's good.
Mid shift.
For the Americans, watching Skip the Dishes to us is like Uber Eats or like
DoorDash. Is that also
DoorDash,
Canadian?
I think is Canadian. They have one,
Postmates.
Postmates, yeah. And then they have Grubhub.
Oh,
So
weird.
it's all the same. It's all kind of whatever.
Food delivery.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing good. I've actually been on a kick of CSR racing. Have you ever heard of that iPhone game?
No, I thought you were gonna say like Crash Bandicoot Racing.
Well, it's even better, I think. It's like a drag racing mobile game, and I hate mobile games. So it's so rare that I like it, but it's like I started my own little crew called the JDM Love Gang, and
Love
it's
that.
basically like Japanese cars. So I got
Nice.
10 members so far. I'm pretty pumped, and it's just like I
Nice.
just started playing it last night. So it's a cool little game. So that's
Nice.
really had me excited for no reason. So it's been a good day.
Right.
I don't know what the weather's like. I haven't been outside. I'm in a hermit, so
Dude, honestly, you need days like that though. You need to have a day where you just like
yeah, that's pretty much my life. Is like I have a school day like today, and then I have a work day the next day. And
Nice.
That's just how life goes. So it's all right.
Love it.
I wanted to give a precursor to everyone. You've probably read the title already of our video, but we're going to be talking about character deaths, the most saddest character deaths in video games from our perspective. There's probably much sadder ones from like Final Fantasy that we don't really know about or talk about that much, but we're talking about from our perspective. And we want to give a little warning. We're going to say the title of the game we're talking about, and then we'll talk about the character death. So if we name a game like Kirby Adventureland, which we're probably not going to, but if we name a game like that, then, I don't want to know what happens to Kirby and his gang. So then just tune out or skip to the next one.
Okay. Love it.
That's our plan to let you know. We'll let you know the title of the game first.
Love it. All right, I'll take the first one because I have one extra. So I got some honorable mentions, and I'll throw it to your honorable mentions. Mm-hmm. So I've got I've got 3 honorable mentions, and it's because I didn't play these games at all. Like I did. I played a little bit of the first one, but I haven't played the rest of them. They just didn't interest me. My first death is from The Last of Us. So spoiler, Last of Us. Joel dies in The Last of Us 2. I think his name's Joel. Like the main character dies in The Last of Us 2. He just gets like brutally killed. So he dies, and like I know it's huge for game. Like that was a big death in the gaming world. I didn't play it, so I was like, but it's a huge death, big death. My second one is just Mass Effect 3. So many people died. I made a list, but like Morden Solus and Thane Krios were like the 2 of the top ones I've heard about. They died in Mass Effect 3, and apparently they're very sad. Wouldn't know, didn't play it, which is weird actually. You think I would?
I heard like Mass Effect 3 has a pretty controversial ending by the sound of it.
It does.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people that end up having to die, but it was kind of a weird way to wrap up the trilogy.
Yeah, not cool.
And I didn't play it.
No, I played a bit of like 3 or 2, and it made no sense. Like, who are these characters, and why do I care? So I just didn't touch it.
I played like half of one, and I just...
The idea is
kind
cool.
of on the shelf.
It's Dragon Age in space, but...
Yeah.
You can sleep with aliens. So
that's funny. Yeah,
no
that's pretty hot, dude.
That's the word. It's the
Kawhi.
T. It's Kawhi. Leonard?
Yeah.
And the last death is from the Walking Dead Telltale series. Really didn't play this game. It was the main guy, Lee Everett. Apparently you play as him in the first one, and then you don't in the second. I have no idea. Apparently it's really emotional. I didn't play it. I never will.
Watch PewDiePie play it. So,
nice.
Similar.
I like zombies. I can't stand The Walking Dead. I just never got into the comics. Actually interest me. Like
what about the TV show?
I've watched the first episode 5 times, and every time I get a little farther into it. And I've watched one episode from other seasons, 2 episodes from other seasons. That's it.
It's like the best TV show that I watch. Anyway, we should actually have a channel about TV shows and maybe expand later on, but we'd probably have a good argument.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I'm like, but yeah, okay. Those are my honorable mentions.
No, that's good. Those are some good honorable mentions. Mine are, I have 2 of them. The first one is from Halo 3. Nice. And I have a couple of other Halo ones in my actual list, but Sergeant Johnson dies due to the monitor 343 Guilty Spark. It's kind of near the end of Halo 3, and Sergeant Johnson gets, it's like a Spartan laser that comes out of 343 Guilty Spark. So
Okay.
ironically, as Master Chief, you Spartan laser 343 Guilty Spark right back to kill him. But this same monitor's been following you around during the trilogy, and then it just takes out Johnson. And Johnson is a badass character. Really cool, like sergeant that talks gruff and leads the troops in. So that's a very emotional death. I didn't experience it the same way because I kind of heard it word of mouth and didn't play through it. But still really, really sad death. The other honorable mention, Nick was just letting me know about it. It kind of was off my radar, but it's a really good point. In Super Metroid, and if you want to call it Metroid Fusion eventually, you have this baby Metroid that was with you, that you actually saved as Samus in Metroid 2, Return of Samus. She saves this last little Metroid. She doesn't really go logical at this point. She was supposed to kill it, but she does it because she feels like it's the right thing to do. She saves this thing, and this baby Metroid comes back and helps her kill Mother Brain at the end of Super Metroid. And that same little baby Metroid is used as the vaccine to keep Samus from dying in Metroid Fusion due to the X parasite. So very sad death when it sacrifices itself, but pretty cool because then you get the hyper beam and you just blow the crap out of Mother Brain. So very sad, but kind of sick at the same time.
Dude, Metroid really quickly has the coolest villains. You got Ripley. This freaking space pirate. You got a Mother Brain, Parasite, like the coolest villains that I'm sleeping on. I'm not gonna
they're really cool. Like there's games that have alien enemies that are kind of like familiar, like almost humanoid. Whereas with Metroid, it's kind of like Dark Souls. Like it's almost like surreal aliens. Like they're just kind of hard to imagine.
Yeah, right. And literally, Ridley to me is so cool. Like just so cool. I play him in Smash sometimes. So cool. Just being space pterodactyl. Come on.
Yeah, it's a sick concept, and like he's in every game. So
yeah, right. I like that.
Sick. Those are my honorable mentions.
I love that. Actually, I never played Metroid, so like whatever. That's cool. But Sergeant Johnson's a good one.
Yeah.
Cool one. Really quick precursor. It's just allergies. I don't have COVID. I just have like allergies to fall crap. So.
Too many pumpkin spice lattes, man.
No, dude. I don't even go latte anymore. I just inject it into my veins. It's pretty great.
Okay.
So I'm up first with my first death, and this one's really cool because I remember like not understanding it as a kid. So it's from BioShock Infinite, and it's Booker DeWitt. So you like play as Booker DeWitt, and you've been hired by Father Comstock, Reverend Comstock. You've been hired by Comstock.
Father Comstock. Yeah.
Just kidding. Comstock. Yeah. I've never thought about that, but I guess it kind of sounds similar.
What's wrong with my brain? Anyway.
Oh, so much. So you get hired by Comstock as Booker DeWitt because you have like gambling debts. So you like go to like get this chick, Elizabeth from I haven't played it in so long. The name of the city, it's forgetting me. But so you go there, and in the end of the game, you actually die. Like you find out that Comstock is Booker DeWitt from the future, and then you are him from the, you know what I mean? It's weird. It's like two different timelines, and you die. You get drowned by you either get drowned by Elizabeth or killed. You die. No matter what, you're dead. You get drowned or you get shot. I need to play that game again. I owned it and then I got rid of it. I need to play it again.
Things are always more emotional when there's time involved, like with different timelines.
Sorry, I'm tea. Yeah, no, it was super like weird and stuff because like you like play as Booker DeWitt and then you kill Comstock to like kill your. It's so weird, and it was odd because like it had this weird feeling of like, what did I just do? At least in my little teenage brain, I did not understand it for a long time.
Speaking of not understanding like time stuff, like with different timelines, I rewatched Interstellar for the third time.
Never seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No, it's sitting right there on my bookshelf. I've never seen it.
That is such a good movie, dude.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
That's like, yeah, that's sick. What's the director's name?
Who directed Interstellar?
I hate when my brain doesn't work when we're on here.
Literally, it's Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. Oh my gosh. Dude, I was going to say Connor something. I'm like, that's not right.
That's not right. No one.
Seriously, my brain doesn't work when we do this.
Their kid, Connor.
Like, we literally can't remember guns. We can't remember directors or game developers.
Literally before our podcast, I was like, dude, you can talk about Sergeant What's-His-Face. Twice I said it. I was like, I
Instead
didn't
of
remember his
Johnson.
name. Yeah, Johnson. The simplest name.
So yes, Christopher Nolan. You got to watch that movie. But anyway,
Yeah.
about time. Yeah, things in video games or movies, it doesn't really make sense when you're a kid because you're trying to like figure out like, oh, like how does that have such a deeper meaning? But as you get older,
Right.
it's like, oh, now I get that plot because it's like he's hurting himself as his past self or that kind of weird stuff.
Yeah, right. Super unique.
But I haven't played through Infinite, so I don't know exactly how it ends.
It's the only one I haven't finished. I've beaten 1 and 2 multiple times. They're such good games.
That's a series I should get into.
It's really good. So that's my first one. I almost talked about Andrew Ryan from the first one. Spoiler alert for the first BioShock. He, like, through the whole game is giving you, like, clues and stuff, like, what to do. And then you just beat him to death with a golf club.
Will you
It's
kindly?
like, yeah, will you kindly? So, would you kindly? Yeah, would you kindly? So that was almost what I talked about, but book it away a bit more sad. So that's my first pick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a series I'm sleeping on, but I should try it sometime.
That's good.
I'm gonna start. I think I'm gonna start with Halo Reach.
Okay.
If you don't know Halo Reach by this point, like
Who
if
dies
you
in
don't
Halo
know
Reach?
that everyone dies, well, pretty much everyone. Like, come on, like that's
Come on,
literally the whole
where have
story.
you been? We've talked about it before.
Yeah, we have. The most emotional character death for me was Kat, and it's kind of a weird one because Kat dies in such a strange way. She's like I think she's either like French or Russian. She kind of has this accent, and she's got a robotic arm, and she's just a really cool character. And she's giving like this technical information. They're all running through, like the Spartans are running through this area, and there's kind of a like a hole over them, like the roof is caved in, so it's kind of open and exposed. And they're all running through. She's giving technical information, and next thing you know, a needle rifle shell just right through her helmet, like in one and out the other. And she's just mid-sentence just stops talking, and she's instantly dead. Yeah. And there was something so like out of nowhere, like even though you're playing Halo Reach,
it's shocking.
Yeah, it's shocking, and like it's kind of like a horror movie. You know they're all gonna die. You know it's Halo Reach. You know Reach is gonna fall, but just out of nowhere, mid-sentence, just a big needle. I think they're like in canon, they're supposed to be like a foot long. Yeah, it's like having a foot long sub that's really sharp, just right through your head.
Got a meatball marinara through the dome. You're dead.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, she's got this sharp meatball marinara through the head, and it's just out of nowhere. And to me, it was just like I remember playing it as like a 16-year-old, and my jaw just dropped. So for me, that was just an emotional character death.
Yeah, I remember that one. That I think it was very surprising because like you expect. Like you see immediately, like this guy's gonna die. Like he's for sure gonna die. He's got the skull in his mask. He's like badass. He's gonna die. But like you'd think, like maybe she'll make it out. She's a smart, technical girl. She'll, nope.
Yep. Nope. And further spoilers: the only one we really know of for sure that got out was June, and he's like the sniper guy. I think deep down we're all hoping Noble 6 somehow survived.
I was gonna bring that up. People think he survives.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like, I don't know, I haven't made up my mind, but like if there was a reveal of like on Infinite, like when they go to Delta Halo on Halo Infinite, like if they found Noble 6 and he had escaped or something, like that would be
like
so
a picture
sick.
of him 10 years later, something wild. I want to believe he lived because he just was like that last scene. I know we're off topic already, but that last scene where you're just fighting till you die is one of my favorite missions in all video games.
Yeah, and it's totally optional.
Yeah,
you can literally just grenade yourself and die and just see the end credits, or you can just fight it forever. It's like a firefight almost.
Yeah, and your helmet's getting cracked. Like you see the cracks in the visor, and you're like, man, that was sick. It was so cool. And I'm not even a huge Halo guy.
Yeah, that game's like full of emotion, and it's like I've said before, it's not based well on the book. Like it's very loosely tied to Eric Nyland's Fall of Reach, but the way the game kind of slowly picks off characters, it's like a horror movie, except it's not a horror movie. It's like a horror game. It's just a really sad, almost Shakespearean, like a tragedy. So I don't know. You'll have an emotional time if you play that game for sure.
I feel like my favorite death in that one is Captain What's His Face just crashes the Pelican. That was sick.
Oh when Carter just says get out and he takes the wheel and he's right into that scarab.
Yeah, that's a heroic death for me. Love it. Love that.
Yeah, that is sick.
All right, that brings me to my number 2, and this one actually made me cry. Like my dad lent me this game. He lent me Red Dead Redemption 2, He lent it to me. And I played like 60%, like a good amount of the campaign, then left it for months. And then during quarantine, I was like, what should I play? Like, so I just played it up. I just finished the rest of it. At the end of the game, Arthur Morgan, the main guy you play as, dies. So throughout the whole game, he has tuberculosis. So they call him Black Lung. Like, he starts out coughing, and then he gets worse and worse and worse. So at the end of the game, the gang is falling apart because this is a prequel, technically, to Red Dead Redemption 1. So the gang's already like pretty much falling apart. And this guy, one of the guys in the gang is a dink. Like, he did a bunch of shady stuff, and he thinks that like Arthur Morgan is riding to the FBI and like riding them out to Pinkertons, if I remember correctly. And he pretty much has a huge fight scene at the end. So you're Arthur Morgan, like you're ready to die anytime, but you're like, no, I can't let my gang, like my family who I've been with for 20 years, go. Right, so I have to see this through and help him get to the right thing, do the right thing, and you end up fighting. It's gonna bug me because Dakota would know his name immediately. You fight this guy, and at the end, you lose the fight, and he shoots you. Oh no, you shoot. Yeah, he shoots you. He shoots you, and you're just sitting there on the top of this mountain, like watching the sunrise. So this guy that you've carried through probably 50 hours, because no one just does the story in a Grand Theft Auto Red Dead game. So you go through all this. You go through all this weird ass like thing. You see a bunch of your friends die from the gang, and then you finally like succumb to the gang lifestyle. It was very sad. It was a very sad story. It made me cry. Like, I really liked Arthur Morgan. It was super, super cool. I actually like him more than John Marston, and that's why I left John Marston off this list. Mm-hmm. But Arthur Morgan was sick, and it's going to bug me who he loses this fight to. But it was really
the third
good.
floor, man. When we get up on the third floor, we forget everything that's on the first floor. We
right?
Forget names.
Like, forget first and second. He fights. I don't know.
Well, while you're thinking about that,
hop into it.
Red Dead 1, spoilers, really, really emotional ending. And it's kind of like this last showdown when John finally gets caught up with all the people after him. And so both games have like this sad ending that's like, you almost see it coming, but it's still very emotional. So the first and second RDR are both like gut-wrenching.
Mm-hmm. Oh, big time. Big time gut-wrenching. I don't know who he fights. I literally don't remember who he fights. And I can't find it anywhere. That's fine. I'll find it later.
Dude, Hypersloth Gaming, put it in the comments. Who killed...
who did he kill? Arthur Morgan.
Arthur.
And it was honestly so... no, I know who it is, but I won't say it now. I'll wait for Dakota to say it. Okay. I figured it out.
Dakota, you have to put it in the comments.
Yeah, dude, like it literally was so gut-wrenching to lose that fight. And you're just like, well, okay. But it was really good. That game, honestly, like I almost bought it, and I still actually would like to. I'd like to play it again on my Xbox. It was a really good game. It was a better version of Grand Theft Auto 5, in my opinion. So
yeah, I think I'd prefer it to GTA, but that's just because I like kind of the cowboy gunslinger thing more than like driving around in a gang.
Yeah.
In a car. Rather be in a gang on horses, you know.
Oh, me too. It just to me is so much cooler, and all the stuff you can do is so sick.
Yeah.
So, your turn.
Okay. I have probably the most. In fact, when Nick brought up this topic, both of us were thinking the same thing too, because he said we're gonna do. Or he texted me and said, "Hey, do you want to do like the saddest character deaths?" And the first thing that came to my mind, if you haven't played it yet, Gears of War 3, Dom dies. The partner to Marcus Phoenix and Dom, they're together the whole time, and then Dom has to sacrifice himself by getting in this kind of like I don't know what you call it. It's like a tanky vehicle,
like a fuel tanker.
Yeah,
or something.
And these things, they're not locusts. They're like they're called the
hive.
Nope. Oh no.
It's third floor, man. It's
lambent. They're the lambent, right?
Yes,
like they're
lambent.
Okay.
Lambent.
So like these lambent things are kind of like yellow gooey things. They're clearly gonna like win this firefight. There's too much going on. So here comes Dom, and he drives this huge tanker in there. It's got fuel in it, so it's explosive. and you can hear him over the comms, and Marcus is yelling, "No, don't do it!" And Dom just runs in there, boom, blows it all up. And I would say that that's probably the most noted, and that's why Nick and I both thought of that. And even people I talk to, I guarantee they'd be like, "Oh, Dom from Gears 3, like that'd be a good one." And like that's just the most common one we think of.
I asked the guy at work today, I was like, "Hey, dude, what are some sad deaths that like we should talk about on my podcast?" He's like, "Oh, dude, Dom from Gears 3." First thing he said.
Yeah.
It's like it's so sad.
Yeah, and it's kind of out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's not near the end, it's not near the start. It's like probably like halfway.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like in the trilogy, you're not expecting that to just out of nowhere in the third one.
Character.
Yeah.
And I remember he's over the comms yelling like, so he has a wife, Maria, and she dies in Gears. Dose.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to shoot her.
That's a greasy one. Oh,
I forgot about that. Well, he's yelling. Is like
that's probably a runner-up, actually.
Yeah, literally, man. Oh, that's serious. He literally, Dom is like, "Who would have thought I'd come to this, Maria? Like, you and me, or something like that." And it's like, oh, I can literally picture it in my head right now, the whole cutscene.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's a real goosebump one because if you know how Maria dies, it's like, it's just tragic, and there's nothing. It's kind of a raw storytelling about what humanity would have to do to overcome if there was this weird alien bug race that came up from under the earth. There'd be some terrible stuff that would have to happen. So it was really gripping. I remember I was in grade 12 and I just bought the game, and I was already excited to play online because everyone was already playing online. But I have that rule, which you probably do similar, where you beat the campaign first, then you go play multiplayer. And that just kind of like brought my spirits down. Like I was like, pumped to play multiplayer, and then I saw that and I was like, wow, I
don't want to play multiplayer.
Yeah, like I just wanted to just sit there and think.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a big one for me, and I'm sure other people too.
I had a big oopsie, quick story with that one. I was in EB Games. The game had just launched years and years ago. And I was talking to the clerk. She's like, "Yeah, we're talking about." I was like, "Gears of War 3, you know, we both played it." She's like, "Yeah, I'm playing through it right now." And I was like, "Oh man, isn't that Dom Death sad?" She's like, "The what?" And I was like, I grabbed my bag. I was like, "Nope, I gotta get by." And I just walked out.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's rough. That. She probably just sat there and was like, "Nah, he's fibbing.
Son of a bitch."
Probably thought you were trolling her. So maybe she actually got to the part and she was like, "Oh no."
Oh no. She's looking
made it
for
worse for her because it like ramped up.
Yeah, she's like, "When is he gonna die? Like, what are you talking about?" Dude, whenever they release the Marcus Phoenix collection, I think they will. I truly think they will. We need to play through it.
Yeah, like if they had that game like 1 through 5 and Judgment, they put that all in a collection like the MCC.
I'd buy it. I'd pay money for that.
Yeah. Like the first one remastered, it looks sick. But I almost like how it looks on the 360. Just gritty. The frame rate sucks. Like it's just, it's almost, sick game. It's almost meant to be played on the 360 first, just because it's gritty. But
I think they need to have it like MCC and graphic flip.
Yeah.
They just take everything from the MCC that's good and put it in the Marcus Phoenix collection. But
amen.
Let's wait for it. All right.
So you're up, dude.
This one's a unique one because I feel like for some people it's not sad, but like for me it was sad. It's the Joker from the Arkham series, Arkham Asylum, City, and Knight. Whoops. Arkham City. I should have led with that. Arkham City.
I was gonna say Joker, and then he died here.
And here, yeah. So in the end of Arkham Asylum, Joker, like the whole game, there's like Venom and like Bane. It's what keeps Bane huge, unless he's like the skinny little dude. So the Joker in the end of Arkham Asylum takes it. He's like, "Plan B." He just takes Venom, and he's like, he's massive. And you have to fight him, and you beat him obviously because you're Batman. And then Arkham City, Joker is like sick, like visibly sick, which is crazy. So then it's crazy. He's sick, like super sick, but then he's also not. It's very unique. I won't spoil the ending, what the final boss and the twist is, but the Joker dies. The Joker is truly sick in the end of Arkham City, and he does die. And it's really sad because after the fight, you're the Batman. You're like carrying the dead Joker out of the theater, and like you give him to Gordon. You're like, he's dead. And then it's like, oh, it's a trick. It's fake. And in Arkham Knight, like you see he's actually dead. Bruce still has like haunting visions of him, but he's actually like truthfully dead. And you're like,
physically dead.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
while you have visions of him, like he's not gonna pop out of the corner and be like, haha, gotcha. Like, he's dead. So like it was unique because it's like they killed the Joker. He's actually gone. Like, killed Joker.
I actually like I've seen on like What Culture Gaming and Game Ranks and Watch Mojo, like all those kind of top 10 lists, and that death is actually up there
Really?
because
Okay.
of how it's a very strange picture. Like when he's carrying the Joker, I think that part alone is like just a weird scene. You've watched The Dark Knight, right?
Many times.
So one of the best lines is when the Joker looks like right at Batman and is like, "You complete me."
Oh yeah.
Like that is like to me, I don't know why, but that line grabbed me because it's like the Joker is nothing without Batman. So no, he's not trying to kill him. And clearly Batman wants to kill Joker, but he can't because it's against his code.
Yeah.
And so it's like those two are like perfect for each other. So when I did see that clip, I've never played the game, but when I saw that clip, I remember thinking, wow, like what is Batman now?
Yeah.
So, and then I guess the third game was kind of weird with the big Batmobile emphasis and all that kind of thing. But it's weird to think of a game where Batman does not have a Joker.
Yeah, and while you see him in visions, it's not the same. Like he's still cool, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
that game wasn't great. The Arkham Knight was not great, but the city is amazing. I love that game. I 100%ed it. It took me forever. So yeah, that's really cool to know. That's really high up. I didn't know that.
Yep, it's a good pick, man.
Good one. All right, tag.
Well, Halo 4.
Yeah.
What is Batman without the Joker? What is Chief without Cortana? The very end of Halo 4, if you haven't played it yet, it's like I remember when I first played through it, I actually cried. That was the one I cried at.
Really?
Because it was just like for me as a kid, just seeing like Master Chief and Cortana, like they were like this power couple from the future. And at the end of Halo 4, she turns in, like she can multiply herself into a bunch of different Cortanas, and that's how she defeated the Didact. And to kill the Didact, she had to use all that energy up, and then this nuclear detonation happened because the Chief needed to blow up this big thing that was harming the Earth with a big tractor beam thing. And to save him from that, she sacrificed all her power to do that. So she has this last conversation with him while they're in this kind of digital area where he's safe. And she comes up to him and he's trying to beg her like, no, but she's saying like, it's too late. She's used all that energy up. And she puts her hand on his chest. And of course it's just like the metal plating. So it's not even flesh. It's so like when we think of love, we think of like, oh, it's got to be like this sensual, like skin to skin thing. Yeah. But for them, it was like a digital manifestation of Cortana, this blue alien AI, being able to just touch the metal plating of the armor of the person she's been with for all these years. And then she looks up at him and says, I've been waiting to do this for so long. And like that part just like gave me goosebumps because I'm like, no, this can't be the end.
Yeah.
And it actually is for that Cortana. Now it gets really deep. I don't need to get into all the story stuff. But in Halo 5, she comes back. And I don't think that's her. I think that's a version of her that is gets pretty deep, but it's a type of it's called the oh dude.
Curse.
It's so bad. It's the third floor. It's so hard. Anyway, it's a type of infection that can be spread digitally from Gravemind from the flood. So that's why it's a different syphilis. Yeah, there you go. So it's a totally different Cortana. So it's not the Cortana I grew up with, the one in Halo 5. That whole game sucks actually, but that campaign's garbage. But up Halo 1 through 4, like that's the Cortana I loved. And I was like, wow, like she's like saying goodbye to the Chief for the last time. So that was just like, even thinking of it now just gives me goosebumps because it is so emotional to like see that friendship and that like yes, they were like made to be together to save the world and be like almost like machines. That's a big emphasis on Halo 4 is like Chief at the end. He's asking the Captain Lasky, she told me that I would be the machine. and it's like, whoa, she was supposed to be this computer machine and now he is. And so it's kind of this flip, this reversal, and the story's just so deep. So that moment there was probably the most emotional for me in a video game.
I have not finished 4 or 5. Didn't do it.
4's gameplay sucks.
Okay.
Like, I don't like the gameplay, but the story's really good.
But 5
so that's
is trash.
kind of a weird one. 5's trash both ways because it's like everyone can kill you from long range. So the gameplay and the story sucks. So I'd say play Halo 4 first.
Okay.
It's more story in it.
I'm on the second mission on 5 because I was like, well, if I'm going to do this once, I'm going to do it on Legendary. So I've gotten that far.
Yikes.
Yeah.
It is actually pretty hard on Legendary.
It's a pain. I keep getting sniped.
Yeah.
Don't like. No thanks. All right. No, it's still an FPS game. This one probably hits home for all of us. Just a little bit. I got 3 deaths in 1 because they're all part of the Call of Duty universe. So it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. So it's Roach, Ghost, and Soap. And wow. Did my early high school get flushed with these ones? Holy crap. I remember borrowing Modern Warfare 2 from a friend. I was like, this game is sick. All these characters are dope. The guy in the friggin' skull mask is unreal. Oh, he's on fire and he's dead. What? Like, Roach is a little less sad. I wanted to include him, though, because he did die. Like, that's one's like, still cool. But I remember playing through that, and Shepard shoots you with this stupid revolver. He's like, boom, boom. And then he lights you on fire.
That's a big twist.
That was huge.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I remember playing through that, and I was like, what the hell is going on? What is going on?
There was parts where there wasn't even a character death, and it was still emotional. Like, when you survive that nuclear bomb. Yeah. Like when you're flying away and you see this detonation and it like your helicopter malfunctions because of it, because it finally the sonic boom caught up and you crash. Like even like non-character deaths are like, whoa, insane.
It's big. And then like even like missions where they're like non-vital characters, like No Russian, is still the craziest probably level I played in any video game. That was insane.
MW2 is like, it's an insane campaign.
Yeah. And they remastered it, and I haven't played it. But
yeah, me neither.
And then Soap dies in 3, and that actually I think was the saddest of the 3 for me. I liked Soap a lot, and he dies. I remember how Price was like furious because somebody somebody sold them out or like gave the wrong intel, which led to this, which led to that. Soap dies. He dies on the table. I remember that. He like come through a window. Soap's down. You put him on the table.
Yeah, he's laying on the table. Everyone's trying to like use the defibrillator, and it's just too much.
It's not working.
Yeah,
body can only take so much. So like that, I think is sad for me because like realistically, it's a first-person shooter, and like Halo first-person shooter, same thing. But like Halo's deeper than COD is. You know, people play COD for the multiplayer generally. Yeah. So, but that death was sad. You know, that was like the last big COD death.
Because Soap's always with you. You know.
Yeah. He's there. You play through him. He's in 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. And it's like, man. I remember that.
When you invest that much time into like being with a virtual person, it's kind of like, oh crap, and you see him laying on this table. But I think that's what makes it different than a TV show. Is like TV shows can bring you in, but I think video games are even that other dimension deeper when you're actually interacting with that AI. Even though it's just AI, it's just a bunch of code, it's zeros and ones.
You are doing it.
Yeah, for some reason those zeros and ones are much more interactive when you're shooting with them, or if it's a like boss death, like a enemy death, which we could do a list for those two, I guess.
Oh, huge.
But yeah, when you're a part of either shooting at or shooting with, then there's just a way tighter connection to someone like Soap when you see him just dying there, and it's like, oh, I spent 3 games with you. Yeah,
and then you just like dead.
Like,
in one mission, and it's crazy to me because like if you play the mission, if you stop the mission before, he's fine, he's cool.
Yeah, same with like Dom.
Yep.
Like you'd never see it coming.
Nope.
Those two are pretty unpredictable deaths.
Yeah, Soap, just like Dom, both took me off guard, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, and both are actually like I think Soap's kind of midway through the campaign too, right?
Yeah, I think it's like at least 60% through. It's like still a good story after. Yeah. Because Price is just pissed, so you play as Yuri.
Yeah.
And it was like insane. It was a good campaign.
Yeah, MW3 slept on, but it's not as good as 2.
No.
But it's still a solid campaign.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises. Like Dark Knight Rises is phenomenal, but like how do you follow Dark Knight?
Yeah, Dark Knight Rises, like I love Bane as a character. It's just not as much as the Joker.
Nope.
So
it's actually my favorite one, but it's not as. But I can admit it's not as good as the second one.
Yeah.
Like I love Dark Knight Rises, but that's
Fun
the second
fact:
one.
I did a paper on the Dark Knight
Did you really?
in psychology. Yeah, because we were talking about different like mental issues, and so I picked psychopathy,
Oh,
and
sick.
because the Joker just doesn't care,
Hmm.
and like one of the best examples is when he like lights that big stack of
Yeah.
bills, and
Cash
then
on fire.
guy's like losing it, and he's like, "It's not about the money; it's
Yeah.
about sending a message." Like that is so sick, dude. Like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's such a good movie. I gotta stop talking about
The
Dark Knight.
Did you do that for first year?
No, like I did it last year,
Oh, okay. I thought you
like
said you did
for
that like for
U of
Hackney.
S.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
no, I never took a Hackney class, but
Oh, he would have got a bone for that.
yeah.
I shouldn't say that. Whatever. Not my teacher anymore.
Was that your pick?
That
Right?
was my pick, yeah.
Okay. How many more do you have left?
I have one left, and it's the saddest one.
Okay, perfect. I have one left, and it's kind of a meme, so I'll kind of soften the blow.
I forgot who it was.
We talk about this game at least once a podcast, so here we go. Destiny 2.
Yeah.
If you're not aware, it's a live service game. It's free to play now. One thing you won't experience, though, is the death of Cade 6. Sadly, I think this death is very interesting because, yes, Aldrin Sov kills Cade 6, technically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of by this gang of people. So the Prison of Elders is where all these real BA, like, they're called the Forsaken.
Mm-hmm.
They're like these weird, they're like a hybrid of the Fallen. Or,
oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, hybrid of the Fallen. And so they're kind of like that, but just a different spin on them. And here they kind of gang up and kill Cade 6. And then Aldrin Sov puts the last bullet in them. But the sad thing is, Bungie kind of told us about this way before this DLC released, and they used it as a marketing ploy. And it was like, oh, so, the summer during 2018, we knew that Cade 6 was dead. And now it's pretty much like, oh, I wonder how it happens.
Yeah.
So I think they were attempting to do kind of a reach thing again, but it just didn't pay off the same. So I'm including it in the list because I don't think Aldrin Sov killed Cade 6. I think Bungie killed Cade 6.
I would agree with you, yeah.
And it sucks because that was like the one part of the game I really thought was like humorous and brought that humor level. They kind of replaced him or tried to replace him with the Drifter. Like, Nick,
work.
you know the Drifter, right? Like,
I love the Drifter, but it doesn't
okay. So, yeah, like it's like a good character, but it's like you're not going to fill the shoes. So the Drifter and Cade 6 alongside would have been sick.
Oh,
and they have a couple cutscenes where they're both there. Oh, okay. And it's kind of like a preamble before Gambit came out. Mm-hmm. But like, I just wish that would have been there. Not let's kill Cade 6 for marketing and then we'll sell Forsaken. And Forsaken was an awesome DLC, but it sucks that they had to use like the best character in the game to kill him and use him as the marketing.
Because they could have killed Akora or Zavala, but if you were like, oh, Zavala's dead, I would have been like, okay. I don't care. He's the Titan Vanguard, sure, but I don't really care that much.
Yeah. But whereas everyone had a connection with Cade 6 since Destiny 1.
Fillion. And the other thing that bugs me is like they didn't have to die. I mean, I haven't played Forsaken, but like anyone could have been in that spot. Yeah. So I thought you were gonna say when you said Destiny 2, I thought you'd be like, the Saddest death is the entire franchise. It's dead. It's gone. Though I did reinstall it today.
Every character.
It's reinstalled.
Nice.
Took me 2 hours.
I played it yesterday. I streamed it, and it's actually really fun for the Halloween event. I don't know why I don't know why I get a kick out of it. There's one thing that sucks about this year. There's no weapon.
Oh, I was gonna say, is it the same weapon? Damn, that's worse.
So yeah, there's just no weapon. So that really
I'm uninstalling it after this.
Yeah, it kind of took the wind out of my sails. So I probably won't even come close to grinding it like I usually do. But I'll play some PvP here and there and laugh about it, and probably
got a video coming up for it.
Yeah, but RIP Cade 6. Sorry, Bungie took you out, bro.
Dude, that's annoying. I like the Cade 6.
Yeah.
All right. This last one was a toss-up for me. And this is, in my opinion, this is the saddest death on my list that I've personally experienced. I almost picked the mom, like just her name is like the mom from God of War, but you don't see her die. She's dead when the game starts. The only reason I'd pick it is because if she didn't die, the game wouldn't happen. That's like the precursor, but it's not that sad. This is a big spoilie. If you are interested in the Spider-Man game, depending when you watch this is Spider-Man 1 from like 2018. Spider-Man Miles Morales might come out by the time people watch this. So anyway, in the end of Spider-Man 1, Aunt May dies. So the whole city gets infected with a virus, and like the cities do, and they find a cure. And there's one dose of the cure, like they do, and Aunt May has the virus from working at like the health center, friend center, whatever they call it, to help other people, right? So there's enough vaccine, and the one dose can be used to save Aunt May or to save everyone. Like they'll clone it into more, or they'll save her. So obviously, Peter's like, hey, give her the virus, and I believe he had it. He was about to push the plunger on it, but she's like, Peter, stop, like, and he's like, whoa, and she's like, he's like, how did you know I'm Spider-Man? And she's like, I've always known. Like, she's like, I've known for a long time you're Spider-Man. And it's like, whoa.
Just deep.
Yeah, she cuts you deep, because also Doc Ock earlier in the game is like, I've also always known. That's super emotional. I can't get into it. But Aunt May, like, that death literally brought me to tears. I called my partner. I was like, I'm crying because of this death. Like, it was so sad to me that, like, she goes the whole game, like, all she does is help people and care for people, like, working at this, like, health center for, like, homeless people. Like, all she does is care. Then she gets the virus, and, like, Peter has to do the noble thing of saving her. And then she's like, I've also always known that you were Spider-Man. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, that was a twist you don't see coming. You don't see it. And it's just like, was so sad. It brought me right to tears.
It's amazing that Spider-Man can like recycle these just about the same plot line over and over and over again. And it's still just as emotional. Like, there's been so many Aunt Mays, and there's been so many like Mary Janes or Gwen in the other Spider-Man, and like these stories are so similar, yet they're just different enough to like pull the strings in a way that you'd never see it coming.
I'm getting choked up thinking about it. Like, it was so friggin' sad. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So
just like old Uncle Ben.
Old Uncle Ben. Yeah, and like, it was interesting because like, you'd expect like, oh, she got shot. Oh, she got blown up. No, she gets the plague. Something is preventable if she just stayed home and not help people.
Yeah. Too nice.
And then that breaks me. So that's my list. That's everyone.
Nice.
Aunt May is the saddest one for me. That was a killer.
Yeah.
So,
well, thanks for sharing. Nick brought up the idea through text this week, and I thought it was a sweet idea. I know lots of other bigger outlets have done this, but we thought we'd share our own perspective because, hey, that's why you're here, I guess.
And I'm sure there's games we missed that we just haven't played. Like there's games we haven't touched. Like, when I looked up lists today, just to like jog my memory, like, oh, who was really sad? The number one death I saw across the board is someone from Final Fantasy. I've never played it.
Yeah. And I know the one you're talking about too, and I just haven't played it either. So it's like, okay, am I really going to talk about this when I've never played it or you've never played it? Like, but it's out there. So it'll be on a Watch Mojo list. It'll be on a
Looper.
What Culture Gaming list. You'll find it.
So I'm glad we can give our opinion on this.
Yeah.
So,
if you haven't yet, subscribe to Nick on YouTube. You can subscribe to me on YouTube. Just look up Tweak Bigfoot or Shmicksy. Yeah, we got our Twitches, twitch.tv/Shmicksy and /Tweak Bigfoot. If you come there, then we can talk to you in person, real time. So that's always fun. And
Jared's about to be an affiliate, so sub to him when you get the chance.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm hoping. If you ever want, you can just drop a lurk and hang out. I usually put stuff out on Snapchat or Instagram or Facebook. I just put a little story, I guess. So come and hang out, and
it's a good time.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I think we're off to play Among Us.
Yes, and I hope everyone has a safe Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yes, that's
if you're in the States, you're like, what? That's like months from now. But for us Canadians, we got to celebrate early before the snow just obliterates us.
So not me, but you, yeah.
Yeah, well, I should speak for myself. I'm kind of in the middle of Canada, whereas Nick, he's over on the left side.
I'm on the way west.
Oh yeah, big west, man. So he'll be all right, but we got to have an early Thanksgiving, have a safe COVID-free Thanksgiving. Try not to only hug people you should hug. Yeah. I hear there's kind of another outbreak, but not to get political, but it's not sounding good.
Nope, it ain't.
Yeah,
it ain't. Well, thanks for this week, guys. It was great. And stay safe out there. And we'll see you when we see you.
Peace out.
Peace.